when in the book you talked about before you started at Burn, there was some anxiety about working out that, you know, you didn't know what you were walking into. You had some preconceived notions, and it seems like Taylor was able to have a pretty good influence on like, Mom, just come in. Walk me through that just a little bit.
Well, I mean, some of it is my age, my weight, pain I was in, like thinking, oh, I'm already in this much pain. But then also just not knowing what to do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, right before I was about to turn 60 when I started. And I was definitely overweight, out of shape. And it was in pain. Like my pain was just getting up to walk hurt. I mean, walking hurt. A flight of steps was, I was like, oh gosh, this is going to be a little strenuous. I mean, just even, you know, in bed, like laying down and your muscles and your bones would settle in. I mean, that was painful. And, but then also like I go into a gym and I'm like, I don't know what do I do? Like, okay, here's these weights. I could do this or that. Am I doing the right things?
Yeah.
Am I doing it in the right sequence? Am I, you know, each day if I'm doing something different, am I doing it in the right order or a good order for myself? So, you know, I had a little anxiety about it. And, you know, anytime I tried something, it always failed. So it's like, okay, I just, you know, kind of had a point of almost giving up kind of idea. Just like it is what it is.
Yeah, but you didn't. You said, no, I don't want to give up. There's got to be an answer. There's got to be something. And I think that's really important to sit on for just a second, because so many people, regardless of age, regardless of gender, they come in with a certain amount of anxiety. Yeah. And a lot of times it is, I don't know what to do. Yeah. There's a lot of information. You can Google exercise. Yeah. There's influencers. We're inundated with information, but what do you do with it? How do you structure it? Am I doing this the right amount of times with the right weight, like you said, in the right order? But even ahead of that is just the anxiety of acceptance and the anxiety of like understanding is this going to be the place for me? And what I found is with people as they're specifically stepping into fitness again, or stepping into it for the first time, there's just this sense of kind of, is this going to work for me? You know, and am I going to do all this and it's not going to work? And so there's a fear and an anxiety there, but really proud of you for overcoming it. So walk me through that decision to finally step through the door. How did Taylor convince you? Tell me that story.
Well, Taylor had seen postings on like Facebook of the workouts, and she saw there was a 14-day trial. Okay. And so she signed up, and then she reached out to me, and it's like, Mom, you want to try this with me? And I'm like, Burn boot camp? I'm like,
it says boot camp.
Yeah, there's boot camp in there. And I'm like, okay, that sounds, you know, pretty intimidating, and can I even do it? But, she asked me to do it, and I thought, well, why not try it with her, Yeah. So I said, okay, I'll join you. Yeah. Here we go.
Okay. And so you stepped through the doors.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'll get teary-eyed here.
That's okay. Take your time.
Yeah. They were very welcoming.
Yeah.
And, like accepting. Mm-hmm.
What was your biggest fear with not accepting?
Well, it's my size and my age. Yeah. And I mean, right away that was relieved. I mean, I didn't feel, I felt very accepted, and, they were very encouraging. I mean, it's like during the workouts, they high-five me and, like, you can do this. And I'll tell you what, it was not easy. That first workout was so difficult. Yeah. But yeah, it was just the environment that's there, the community that they, call it. It's very, very welcoming, and, easy for me to encourage other people to join. So,
yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. So you ended your first camp. You did it. Yeah. You did it. Yeah. You did it with Taylor. Yeah. That had to be special.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What was she thinking during that first camp?
She was very proud of me. She, she was like, see, Mom, you can do it. And I'm like, of course, like, are you kidding me? But, I think she knew it was her part to, to encourage me. And also I think the feeling of doing with others was big for me. So not only doing with my daughter, but, looking around. I mean, I probably was one of the older ones and one of the heavier ones. But, I felt welcomed, and they made me feel like a part of them already.
Yeah. Any special person that you met that day that you're still doing camp with? Was there like that one person? We call them raving fans, by the way. They're the kind of like, we say they bleed blue. Yeah. they're the ones that really step up. Anybody step up and out that day?
There are a few, but I'm kind of guessing they're, if they were there or not. I mean, I just remember the ones that are more that have been there the whole time I've been there. So,
yeah. And that's awesome. That's a whole nother level of just our community. You know, I think fitness in general sometimes sees a revolving door of people, and you don't really feel like there is that community there. And so if you've got people that when you walked in the doors the first time that are still there with you, that speaks a lot to support.
Yes.
Also.
I agree. Yeah.
That's awesome.